everyone. The time is now 6:35, and I'd like to welcome everyone that is here to the Manhattan Community Board 11 Public Safety and Transportation Committee. It is December the 11th, 2025, and but before we begin, let us go over the ground rules. No one may speak until granted the floor. 7 CB11 members, if you have a question about board business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. To raise your hand through Zoom, click the participants icon, and then you will find the raised hand function there. Members should not engage in a back and forth discussion. The chair will recognize the next person to speak, which is me. Please keep your questions and comments brief and on topic to the discussion. Members of the public, if you have a question or comment about the subjects on the agenda, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. And we already had a call to order, so may I have the roll call, please, via our staff liaison, Khalid Nixon.
7 needed for quorum. Leslie Colon.
Present.
Carlos Diaz.
Present.
Pascal Hanom. Wanda Hawkins.
Present.
Gilbert Jackson. Christina Johnson.
Present.
Jewel Jones.
Present.
Sage Mason.
He texted me saying that he was going to be absent today.
Okay, so he's excused? Okay. Excused. Carolyn Percy. Valerie Ponte.
She should be online.
Okay. All right. So Don Sanders.
Present.
Eric Sampone.
Present.
Michelle Wilshire Clement.
Present.
We have quorum.
Beautiful. So now that we have quorum, if everyone has a chance to look at the agenda, will you like to accept the adoption of the December 2025 agenda?
Yes.
All right. The adoption of minutes, we are still working on those, so let us continue with that. Do you have any announcements? My only announcement is happy holidays. In case I forget to say it later on. Yes, Leslie.
Last month when we had our meeting, one of the statistics was for the fire department. And I reached out to the EMS version of the fire department, the deputy chief that covers the northern half of Manhattan. And if you need any statistics and any kind of more information, he's more willing to come down to a meeting. You just have to reach out to him, because then we will know what the ambulance services that were being neglected from, because Lennox Hill removed 3 of their services from the west side. All the units on the east side are going to the west side. And it's hard because 116 is the only thoroughfare that goes cross town. So his name is Deputy Chief Patrick Flynn. Okay, and he's more than willing to, you just gotta reach out to him and invite us to let him know the days.
Oh, I'm glad that okay.
Yeah, he covers the northern half of Manhattan.
But he's on the west side.
They're borough based.
Okay, yeah, okay, but I met him, I think.
He covers the northern half of Manhattan, so I got his number and his email so that we could start a report and we can get more information about health, mental health, and how they're answering those issues and the call down and statistics.
Thank you. No, because it's definitely a hole in our updates that we need to work on, that we've been trying to work on, but I'm glad. Thank you, Leslie, for that announcement.
You're welcome.
Yes, Christina Johnson.
I don't know if anybody did anything. Remember, I came last month and complained about the buses parking our driveway. So they haven't been in the last month. So if you guys did something, thank you very much. I don't know. But the parking lot is also closed off now because of construction. So also I spoke to some residents in the neighborhood, and the lights on 3rd Avenue have not been fixed. You still cannot drive more than 10 or 15 miles per hour going up 3rd Avenue, which is creating gridlock from 95th Street all the way uptown.
Yes, but those are announcements, so it's not necessarily geared towards the Department of Transportation as yet.
No, just stating a fact that I spoke to some residents and that's what they said.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know I can. I go up
I
there.
didn't want to forget that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any announcements online? Any hands? All righty then. Let us continue with our city agency partners with informational updates. Starting with the NYPD. Okay,
Officer Cosme, you're on. Are you online with us, or if you don't have any updates, can you just let us know?
Yes, I'm here. I just wanted to update real quick, a quick update on our crime statistics in the 2-5. We're currently down 32% in crime, down in every single major category of crime, the 7 major categories of crime. No major incidents or crimes to report to you guys. And I just wanted to announce that we are not having a community council meeting this month. We will be having a toy giveaway instead on Wednesday, December 17th at 4 p.m. And then we're partnering with the 2-3 precinct to have our annual parranda, which is going to begin at 106 and 3rd on December 18th at 5 o'clock. And then we're going to end at Hunter College at 119 and 3rd. So we invite everyone to join us for that. But that's it for the 2-5 precinct.
thank you.
Question.
Hold on a moment. Are you finished, Officer Cosme?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Carlos?
Yeah, Officer, could you give us an update what's going on with the 2 vehicles? For the last 4 months, I've been talking to you about, and it's still there, and they have not moved. They have their license plates are from South North Carolina, and it's now being a burden. The people at Taino Tower have been complaining.
Yes, so I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no.
Yes, I'm aware. So we have told our Q team, we have Q team officers that are just that they are just in charge of traffic. They have been notified about this. So they told me that they were gonna go and check on it. I am sorry I haven't really followed up, but I'll follow up with them this week. And hopefully we can get that moved before the new year, okay?
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Christina Johnson?
I'm sorry, could you just clarify what the event is again on the 18th?
On the 18th.
Yes, it's a parranda, which is what we call, it's a Puerto Rican Christmas tradition where they do caroling. So we're gonna do it in a form of a parade, starting at 106 and going to 119 on 3rd Avenue.
Okay, thank you.
And that's starting at 5 o'clock, is that correct?
Thursday at 5 p.m., correct, 106 and 3rd.
Thank you. Any more questions? Any questions online, please?
No.
Okay, thank you, Officer Cosme.
You're welcome. I do have to jump off, but if there's any other questions later on, please just let me know and I'll answer them for you later on, okay?
Thank you, and also happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Khalid, do we have any other partners? Okay. Then it's your turn, the Department of Transportation.
For the record, Rafael Escano, Manhattan Borough Planner, Manhattan Borough. I have nothing substantial to report on, so unless you have any questions, I'll be able to answer.
I do have a question from one of our constituents, who has asked, why are there cameras going up on 116th Street, similar to,
Speed camera?
but they're saying that there's a whole lot of cameras that went up,
Thank you.
and it's making them nervous, and they wanna know what all of the cameras are for.
Oh, there is speed cameras. That's part of the plan. That's part of the project of the Avenue that we have been talking about, which have been implemented. But that's just speed cameras and have nothing to do with anything else. But counting the echo going fast.
Okay, I just want you to, I want her to hear this.
Who, me?
No, the person who emailed me, I want her to hear what all the cameras were going.
There are usually speed cameras on the street. There is nothing there to spy on. Just make sure that whoever go over the speed limits will face consequences. And that's the only thing we have to kind of monitor and make sure that the speed are under what it's supposed to be.
Okay, and at this point,
Do you know when they're gonna be working on the bus lanes, the painting on the bus lanes and the bicycle lanes?
Yeah, it's being implemented, as you have noticed. I'm not able to tell you exactly when that happens, but given the weather condition, and it's kind of difficult to do it in the winter as well.
that's so sad.
Yeah.
You know that we did not support.
We have to be accurate about that. It was supported.
Oh,
Sorry, also,
Under condition.
where was the person saying that they're seeing cameras along which route? Or at least which street? 116.
116.
So I already shared with the committee earlier this week that the ACE camera rollout is also going on. So I don't know if you guys are also aware that that's being implemented as we speak or going on. So just also let your friend know that that program is going to be implemented. I shared the information with you guys already. So if you can pass it along. We have that in the newsletter and everything. Just
All of 116?
So basically for the M96 and the M116
Oh, yeah.
bus route, at least for in this
So that's
district, but they're
96th Street and 116.
116. Yes, yeah. So just FYI for
Yeah,
you guys.
I remember that one, yeah.
Right, that's the bus camera.
Those are the,
Those are
bus
the-
cameras
yes,
that would
yeah.
automatically give you a ticket.
Yeah.
Yes. So in the terms of toxic cameras, be mindful of that regarding if you're a driver, you're parked up.
Right, if you double parked in a bus lane.
Yeah, but the person that emailed sounded more like a pedestrian, and she was very concerned.
But I understood the question that it was throughout the Third Avenue corridor, not in a specific location.
116 or
This is more so 116, this is, I'm
I'm
not talking about Third Avenue. I'm gonna get to Third Avenue right now, though. Christina Johnson, can you reiterate your question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I understood your question, and this is something that CBA is also talking about. And DOT is doing a study to respond accordingly. And I don't have anything to say about that right now,
Mhm,
but yes, there is a study being done,
mhm.
so they can find out exactly how they can respond to CBA in particular, and how to respond to you.
I'm going to stop you there, Christina. Yoko wasn't here when you asked your question.
Okay,
Can you
so my
repeat?
question was, why haven't the lights on Third Avenue been adjusted yet, as we told that they would be at some point, right? Traveling up Third Avenue from 95th Street all the way up to 125th Street, you can't go but 10 to 15. Sometimes you might be able to go 20 miles per hour, depending on traffic and times of day, but it creates a huge gridlock, right? Especially on the cross streets, people trying to get by, right? So I was asking that question, so.
The regular city speed limit is 25 miles per hour.
Right,
Um,
but nobody
the
can
traffic-
drive 25.
Right, the traffic signal have been synchronized to, or lower it to 50 miles per hour. That's what has happened.
So you're saying that they've been lowered to 15 miles per hour?
Yes.
Right, okay, so, but they're not even synchronized, because you have to stop at every single block. So normally, before you guys got involved with this, right, the lights would synchronize. So it would turn green on 96th Street. By the time you got to 97th Street, the light would turn green, and then 98th Street, and it would turn. So you could drive straight up Third Avenue. Now that you guys have tinkled around with it, right? You go to 96th Street, you have to stop and wait. The light changes, you get to 97th Street, you have to stop and wait. And every block, all the way up Third Avenue.
That is, excuse me, that contributes to reducing the speed from 25 to 15. And I understand that you see when you stop, but that's part of the technical aspect of what is necessary in order to bring the speed from 25 to 15.
So how long is this study gonna take? Because this is creating a huge gridlock problem on Third Avenue.
I'm unable to tell you, but I've been informed that that study is being done as we speak. Usually, it takes some time to get the data, then to respond to whatever question there is in relation to that particular issue.
Do they anticipate adjusting these lights according to the data, or do they just gonna leave it?
That might be the case. I'm not able to tell you with certainty.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Linda, Leslie.
So, to piggyback on that scenario, I drive down Third Avenue constantly, I move up and down, and on 96th Street, coming across from Lexington to Third, if you don't catch the light, you're gonna have a whole slew of cars waiting to turn uptown on Third Avenue because the lighting doesn't continue or force the flow of traffic going northbound to move because of that lighting situation. So now you have cars cutting in front of each other to turn uptown because they missed the light on 96th Street. That's gonna be it doesn't have a turning light, on 96th.
On 96 and 3rd?
Yeah.
Right, it doesn't have a turning light. So you have an issue there when cars trying to cut each other off to make the light because the traffic going northbound is so slow that it backs up traffic on 96th Street. Now going forward past 97th Street is very dark. Okay, past 99th Street where the supervisors of the buses, they're standing there tracking the timing, it's very dark there. So when people start to cross the street, especially now that it's getting
99th Street.
okay, now that it's gotten darker earlier, it's very cold outside. People do not wear reflective coats or sneakers or boots. So now you have a black shadow walking in front of you, and you're like, oh my God, what was that? So now you stop abruptly and you're causing an accident because it's not well lit. And then people see cars moving slow, so they are assuming that, oh, they're gonna stop at a light.
Yep.
So they come out.
When you're talking about lights, you're talking about
City lights,
street lights.
street lights as well.
Is that because there's a difference between traffic lights?
There's a traffic light,
Signals.
there's a intersection light, and then there's the city light.
The street
But
light,
it's still dark there.
and it is attributed to burnout lamps or?
No, the lights are just not bright.
They're not bright enough.
Mm.
They're not bright
Yes.
enough. And don't give me the amber light or the LED light, there's not enough lighting. Okay,
unable to-
I just came across 106th Street,
Hmm.
and I could see the Christmas tree on Franklin Plaza, but that's the only thing that's lit in
Is
that
that
corner.
99th Street and Third Avenue?
106.
Yes.
106.
106.
106 is very dark.
And what's happening on 99 and Third Avenue?
That's where the bus stop is at, that's where the bus drivers switch, and the supervisors, they're tracking down the timing of the buses, but it's very dark there. So if people get off the bus to cross the street,
So 106 and Third Avenue is
is also dark, very dark. All the way up to 109. From 106 to 109 on Third Avenue, on the east side of the block. Well, on the west side
On the
too.
west side too.
Yeah, the west side, yeah. So, with all of that, it's really causing, then you got kids running around the street, Like I said, it gets darker earlier.
Mhm. Kids coming
It's
from
still-
after school.
Yeah, they're full of energy from having so much sugar for lunch, they start bolting out of the street.
Lights, in other words, lighting is needed.
Very much. needed.
Brighter lights are needed.
Now, on 116, a fire engine was trying to get across through the traffic, and it couldn't, when they had the fire, the beer garden,
The very, yeah.
the trucks could not come across 116 because it was too narrow. They were coming down Third, and they were trying to get across because they wanted to come up first. But they came up Third Avenue to go to 120th. And some of them were trying to get across 116. The fire engines,
Right.
and it was too narrow.
Where are the fire engines?
They were
coming from?
responding to 120 and First Avenue, and they had the big fire at Santiago's Beer Garden. They were responding from all different
It was
orifices,
4 different, 4-alarm fires. They were
What
responding
was
to.
the problem on the 16th Street?
and they couldn't get through.
What
The
was
traffic,
16th Street?
yeah, 116th Street,
Turning on what? On Third Avenue?
from Third to First.
What, the whole park cars? I'm unable to understand.
Well, if you put a bus lane there, you're not gonna have anybody moving. So now you're gonna have
Well, there's
cars
no bus
going
lane.
there, I know, because you got the turning lane there. So you got regular lane and you got the regular traffic. But they couldn't get through because of the traffic coming back and forth on those lanes.
When that comes into discussion in the future, we could bring that.
Well, I'm just letting you know that I'm on it because it's, like I said, it's the only orifice, it's the only thoroughfare that we have going cross down from east to west.
In other words, it needs to be open so that emergency traffic can get to where it's going.
That's always,
And a bus lane is creating
that's,
more congestion.
that is always our priority, safety. So any study done to implement any, street improvement projects, that is the first priority.
Jill Jones?
I just want clarification. When you mentioned this study about the traffic lights and the signaling, you mentioned CB8. Just to refresh my memory, would be part of the initial discussions in terms of the study, CB11?
This is the first time I hear it from anyone here.
Well, you mentioned a study. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
just
the
saying.
study is the Third Avenue corridor, because it's affecting the Third Avenue in its entirety.
You mentioned CB8.
CBA has been questioning that as well, because Third Avenue has also been improved. Going. many
No, I
years
realize,
ago.
I'm just saying, when you talk about study, is the community board made aware that you will be conducting a study? And when we made aware of the study.
Well, the study, the reason why I'm sharing that information with you is because you had asked.
Okay. I realize that. So you get what I'm saying, though, when you say study, usually people come before the community board to let us know that there will be a study taking place. And this is the information, you should know it's gonna last a year, 2 years, or whatever. You may encounter, blah, 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 And so then we then inform the community as the community board members that that's what's happening. And we're just finding out about it now of this study, and CB8 was aware of it. That's what I'm asking.
And remember, we did have, I'm sorry to interject, but we did have concerns earlier on about the 15-mile-an-hour greenway due to and it was brought up with the two-third precinct had a lot of calls saying that people were very agitated because there were a lot of people meandering into the street thinking, oh, it's safe, we can just walk, and creating more distractions and dangerous ways that we did not necessarily have prior to this reduced speed greenway. So it would really be interesting to find out how long the study would go for and the results of this study.
Yes, I will keep you posted.
We also have, maybe we should write another letter to say how we feel about these, with our concerns, because we do, as you hear, a lot of concerns with these changes. I will not use the word that you use as improvements, but I will use the word changes to the system. Not that we are against daylighting. Are there any more questions online?
There are just Diana and Rita Richardson. Diana Larazabal and it's Rita Richardson.
Rita Richardson has a question?
Both Diana Larazabal and Rita Richardson have questions.
Rita, you have the floor.
Hello?
Rita,
Hi, how are you? My question is for the transportation. My name is Rita Richardson. I am a member of First Sharon Baptist Church, which is 233 East 116th Street. We barely have parking in front of our church as it is. So we do have cars that double park. With this bus lane, that means we're not gonna have any parking at all. And then the ones that have to double park, they're gonna be getting tickets to go into church. We don't think that that's fair, and it should be some type of exception for Sundays for church service.
Rita, you unmute yourself, Rita, you're on it, we cannot hear you.
She's unmuted. She made a question.
Oh, okay.
Did you hear
So
me?
I can hear you now. Were you finished with your question and your statement?
Okay. I'm Rita Richardson from First Sharon Baptist Church, 233 East 116th Street. My question or concern is for the transportation, the bus lane. That bus lane and the transportation is going to cause people not to be able to go to church and drive to church and park in front of the church if there is a bus lane there. And on Sundays, we have at least 3 or 4 double parked cars because we do not have ample space to park in front of our church. Can something be done about that? Every Sunday, we're going to get tickets?
Well, you will have an opportunity to discuss that when we come back with that 116th street improvement project. Right now, I'm unable to contribute any information to that.
But can that be taken into account?
I'm unable to do anything as far as even considering because this is not being discussed as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
When we come back with that 160th street project and street improvement project, then you could bring that up.
Okay.
But right now, I'm unable to contribute anything substantial to making her feel better.
It's not to make her feel better, it's just that you're saying that we need to make a note of it so that it's taken into account, so we'll make notes of what our concerns are for this corridor.
As you have already done in the past when it was presented. So we are coming back to present it again. You will have an opportunity to present your concerns.
Okay. Thank you, Rita.
Thank you. Thank you so much for listening.
You're
You're
welcome.
welcome.
Khalid?
There's Diana for basketball.
Hello.
Hello, you have the floor.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Um, my concern it's regarding the email that we received saying that the ACE program is gonna be implemented starting tomorrow. Um, the they mentioned is that any car that's gonna be double park and the bus lane is gonna start getting warnings of 60. They're gonna have like a period of 60 days for the program being implemented and for them to start getting tickets. So my question is, like, is this program part of the bus lane or is this a separate program for the?
Can you repeat what you just said at the very end?
Is the
Is this for the bus lane or?
is the ACE program part of the bus lane 150th Street, or is this a separate program that DOT is implementing?
I'm able to understand. Mr. Derry.
Can you read?
She's asking if the ACE program is also part of the bus priority lane program. That's what she's asking. If the ACE, the automated camera enforcement. Yeah, if she's right. That's her question.
Okay, so that does
I
not.
do take care of the installation.
Oh, well, she's wondering if the ACE camera enforcement enrollment is part of the 116th Street bus priority lane design. That's what she's asking.
It is not.
Diane, it's not. It is an MTA related program, okay?
Okay, so the cars that are gonna be double park, are they gonna be getting tickets or is it just gonna be the cars that are by the bus stop?
The cars that get the tickets are in the bus stop, in the lane, and if the bus is going and another bus goes and another third bus goes, then you get a ticket. So you're
Okay.
captured on 3 times on a bus. And the ticket is mailed to you.
Perfect. Yeah, because that was my concern because I'm like we didn't agree on having the bus lane. So I'm like, why are they putting the cameras? Why is this program in effect if a decision wasn't made?
Hi, Diana. So if you can go on MTA's website and type in ACE, it'll tell you exactly why ACE was put into enforcement. Essentially, in 2023, New York State Legislature passed a provision in the budget to expand automated camera enforcement. It is a bus-mounted camera system that issues violations to vehicles occupying bus lanes, to double parked vehicles along bus routes, and to vehicles blocking bus stops. The program is administered in partnership between the MTA, Department of Finance, and Department of Transportation. The goal of ACE is to make the bus service faster and more reliable by keeping bus lanes and bus stops clear. You can look up mta.info/ACE, and you can look up the information on what you can expect or what routes you can expect to start the enforcement, okay?
Okay, thank you. I have two other concerns. One of them, it's regarding the traffic, well, the pedestrian light on Third Avenue on 116th Street. After they put in the bike lane, like the lights they change really fast for the pedestrians to cross. So I wanted to know if that could be changed because we have a lot of elderly people people with walkers, with canes, even families with small children. And for me, that I don't have any of those. Like I have to practically walk really fast to go across to the other side before the light changes. I think for someone it will be a lot harder for them. So I would like to know if this could be changed. Probably have few more seconds added, or how does it work?
So Diana, you can also go on 311 and type in pedestrian signal complaint or request. They have options to report a pedestrian signal problem, check repair status, request a timing review, submit a request for a timing review, get that service request number and share that with our office and we can forward that to DOT, okay?
Okay, perfect. And the third thing is on 116th Street between First and Pleasant, right in front of the church. The light pole has no light, and it's something that I had mentioned to Raphael before. If there's a way another light pole could be added within that area, because there's the church on the corner, and then there's a school, a Head Start, and that whole area it's really dark and there's no light, and the only light pole that's there right now it has no light.
Okay, so that is with the Department of Transportation. So you said it's on 115th Street and Pleasant Avenue?
116 between Pleasant and First Avenue, right outside of the church.
Okay, between the, okay. Okay, thank you.
What is the exact location of the church?
Mm,
It's 160, it's on 116, right across from Pleasant. There's a school there. And then
It's the
there's a-
southwest corner. The
southeast.
southwest,
Yeah, well, yeah,
southwest corner.
Southwest corner.
Southwest corner.
Between Pleasant
And First Avenue.
yeah, the church is of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. So all the way from the corner of the church to the end of the school, there's no light, and I don't know if there could be another light pole added. Just at least the other
Thank
one is
you.
working.
Thank you, Diana. So Raphael's taking your complaint down, and Raphael, I'll just give you Diana's contact information. You can follow up with her. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
That's my information. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana.
Thank you, Diana. Are there any other questions for the Department of Transportation? Barring no questions? Thank you. Raphael,
You're welcome.
you have a lot of information. A lot of questions were asked, and we will keep in contact.
Right, you have a presentation coming on 120th Street,
Mm-hmm.
the pedestrian overpass.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna stick around for that.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right. Do we have any public safety transportation advocacy groups?
You missed district attorney's office.
I did miss the district attorney's office.
I don't think there was anybody. I
Is there anyone there?
think so.
Okay.
Good evening. This is Ashok from NYC DOT Bridges. At this point, I do not have any, questions to to this community board meeting. If anything is there, then I will communicate through our resident engineer.
Hi, Ashok. Yeah, the presentation is going to be the next agenda item, and once we get there, then you'll have control over the Zoom to give the presentation. Okay?
Right now,
Okay,
I do
right
not have any presentation. Just I'm only for listening spectator today. We do not have any presentations from city DOT.
Okay, understood. We'll move.
Okay, right now we're going for community outreach efforts.
Okay.
Okay, so you will be next, not right now. All right? Okay, members. Two-third precinct?
So, yes, as the 2-5s that I'm gonna repeat, there is no meeting in December, and everybody's focused on, and I'm not pronouncing that correctly. I can't remember, sorry. So that's happening. The last meeting, there was a presentation from Metropolitan Hospitals, the doctor from the lung, or whatever that's called, center. Very informative, and I said to make her way here, because she said a lot of very, important information in terms of lung cancer, and it's not only folks that smoke, but folks that are not non-smokers also developing, and she has this whole thing in process and thing in place that she needs to present to the community board. So it's very, very informative. I'll give you her name, I don't quote offhand, but that was very informative.
Okay, thank you. Yoga, would you like to speak about the 25th precinct?
Sure, I could talk about the 25th precinct. So we don't have a meeting in December. We swap out the meeting for our toy giveaway. We service over 3,500 children with our toy giveaway. We do it in partnership with the officers of community council and other organizations in the community. This year, Mount Sinai is partnering with us, and then we do 3 schools that we sponsor as well with toys. So our officers take toys over to 3 schools and a children's unit in the hospital. So we have a total of about 5,000 toys that we receive. Our next meeting will be in January. We are working on, a lot of the community were concerned about calls to 311, so we will be inviting the commanding officer, the 311 unit, to come and talk to the community. For, I don't know what date it's gonna be, but it'll be soon. We were trying for January. I don't think that we received a response in time for a January meeting. Trying to think. We continue to work on the corridor of 125th Street. There's a task force that's on 125th. We are doing a walkthrough again with the chief of 116th Street, because 116th Street seems to be a little bit worse than 125th Street right this second. The complaints about more aggressive participants of the community is on 116th, and the train stations are on the street versus 125th, because there's a task force there. That's what I have for right now. But yeah, toy giveaway coming up. Paranda is what we're participating. We have 2 cars that we're participating in that. We gave away 500 turkeys at the precinct recently with food, so not just turkeys, with bags of food. Yeah, that's it. That's what I remember right now.
Thank you. And Christina Johnson, anything with your PSA 5, were you able to go?
No, I was not able to go this time, but one of my board members went. She didn't bring back any information, which I don't understand. But she did say she had a good time. The food was good, and I got a lot of information, but she wasn't sharing. So I don't know what happened at that meeting. So
Wow.
Okay. So I don't know. But we are giving a winter festival for the children in the neighborhood. I would love to invite all of you, but they gave us a cap of 100 people. So I did invite Angel and I think Michelle, the chairs, and Xavier to come. That's about all that's happening over by me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other community outreach?
I gave you my information.
Yes, you did. I mean, I went to a few things, but that was more so just to put my face out there and hang out for a few hours in the neighborhood. Okay. Please keep connected.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I don't know if this is the right place for it, but as I go around the neighborhood, I've been noticing like a lot of new small businesses opening up. I haven't had a chance to go in and try them yet. But so my question is this: when new businesses come into our neighborhood, how do we find out that they're coming before they get here? Or do we? Do we have access to that information?
We should have access to that information. I'm gonna take a look at that, or do you know?
No, I don't know, but I had suggested previously to reestablish the East Harlem Chamber of Commerce to find out, so that will be people to see before they do establish something.
Right, because I notice a lot of new businesses opening up. And my thing is to this, that when you go, I live on 99th Street, so I'm always like past 99th, going downtown. When you go downtown, right, south of 96th Street, you get all these beautiful stores. But when you come north of 96th Street, you got fast food, fried food, fat food, sugar food, liquor stores. You know, I feel like our neighborhood is being inundated with, for lack of a better way to say this, crap, right? We have high rates of obesity, we have high rates of diabetes, we have high rates of asthma, and all these things are being concentrated in this area. And that was why I asked the question. And if we have that information, how can we stop some of this crap from coming in here? So,
So I think
East Harlem Chamber of Commerce, if we could figure that out.
I like that, but also the second part on how we can streamline what is growing up to a quality of life, healthier neighborhood besides.
Exactly.
Use that word that she used.
Yeah, because if you walk around East Harlem, right, fresh fruits
I've
and
seen it.
vegetables are so few and far in between. But I can go on any block and guarantee 5 or 6 stores where I can get some real fast food. And some of it is good. I'm not going to lie. Some of it is good, but it's not good for us.
No.
It's not good to us.
So I'm gonna stop you there.
Mm-hmm.
We have a possible route to take. And let us continue with our presentation, with the informational presentation with the Robert F. Kennedy Bridge Project, widening of southbound FDR Drive and the new pedestrian overpass at East 120th Street. You have the floor now, sir.
Well, good evening. Can everyone hear me?
Oh.
Yes.
Hi
Oh,
there.
hello.
Yeah, hello. Hi, thank you so much to Manhattan Community Board 11's Public Safety and Transportation Committee Chair and board members and the staff, especially Angel, who's a longtime supporter and helps us out in many ways. My name is Joyce Mulvaney. I'm Assistant Vice President of Operations Support at MTA Bridges and Tunnels, otherwise known as the Tri-Borough Bridge and Tunnel Authority, or TBTA. And I'm here tonight with my government affairs colleague, Rose Pascone, and also our RFK, we still call it the Tri-Borough Bridge Operations Director, who oversees all things related to the daily operations and maintenance of the bridge, Jacinth Thomas. And I also have my team of engineers here, led by Deputy Chief Engineer Armindo Montero. And we have Ryan Kalleberg, and we also have mixed up titles there. Bill Neubauer is our Deputy Chief Engineer. Armindo Montero is the overall engineer of the RFK Bridge. And Ryan Kalleberg is a project manager for the project that we're here to talk about tonight, which we're very pleased about. And it was interesting to hear your comments leading up to our presentation about traffic congestion issues and concerns, because that really is the crux of this project that we've been wanting to do for a long time. And that really will help relieve. We've had a pinch point for many years, but just the way it was designed, the ramp that leads off the RFK's Harlem River span onto the FDR Drive South has always been an awkward center merge and just immediately creates a wall of traffic, backs traffic up onto the bridge. It's a pinch point with collisions for us for many years. So this is a project to actually add capacity and remove that awkward merge so that vehicular traffic flows better off the bridge and doesn't jam up. And the interesting thing about this project, which is why we have our EDC, New York City EDC and New York City DOT colleagues here along with us, is that it's all off property. It's meant to alleviate traffic and pinch points on the bridge onto the FDR. However, it is all off property, so we're working very collegially with our city partners. And in so doing, we're also going to be rebuilding the overpass, modernizing it and upgrading it over East 120th Street that leads over to the Esplanade on the riverfront. So that's a lot of preamble that I wanted to give you. I just wanted to introduce what we're here to talk about, but we think it's going to improve conditions for drivers and also by extension the community, because we just won't have that awkward pinch point in the traffic jam that hits right when you come off the bridge onto the FDR Drive. And we're going to be making some improvements as well down to the overpass. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Ryan Caliberg, who is the project engineer for this project, which will be a very fast-moving project. We don't linger. It's going to be very evident to you soon, and we're going to be done by the end of next year. So with that promise of anticipation, I will hand it over to Ryan Caliberg.
Thank you, Joyce. Can everyone see the presentation?
No?
Nope.
One second, hold on.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, thanks, Joyce. Yeah, so I'm here today to present the widening of the southbound FDR Drive from the RFK Bridge down to East 116th Street, and along with that, the new pedestrian overpass at East 120th Street. So we've been working actually for a few years, working with our partnership with other city agencies to advance our shared goal of improving traffic mobility by reducing congestion and enhancing waterfront access through the RFK Harlem River Drive corridor with a new pedestrian overpass at East 120th Street. So we do have some of our counterparts here that we've been working, coordinating this with, DOT, New York City Parks, as well as New York City EDC. So you'll see on the right is an aerial of the area. We'll be adding the fourth lane in the section highlighted in yellow. So that'll be a new fourth lane between the RFK Bridge merge with the southbound FDR down to 116th Street. So this fourth lane, the majority of it will be added using the existing shoulder. So we're not really increasing the pavement widths. We're using available unused shoulder width. Because of this, we will have minimum modifications, especially between 117th and 119th Street, where the shopping center is. And as we are adding this fourth lane, as I mentioned, we will be replacing the East 120th Street pedestrian overpass. And I'll show you later in some slides, we will be doing some improvements to the roadways, curbs, and sidewalks where the ramp will touch down at 120th and Palladino Avenue. So out of this project, some of the benefits are improving the safety, as Joyce mentioned. Currently, there's two lanes coming off the RFK Bridge that merge with the southbound FDR. They currently merge with a non-standard center lane merge. So by adding this fourth lane, we will eliminate that merge. So this overall will improve the traffic operations and travel times through the corridor. And the new overpass will improve access to the Harlem River waterfront, which is actually going to be, is in the plans to be redeveloped by the Parks Department and EDC. And this is just a continuation of our improvements for the overall vehicle and bike and pedestrian accessibility across the RFK facility. So on the screen now is a rendering of the new overpass. You can see at the top, the new ramp will come down to 120th and Palladino Avenue intersection and ties into some new curbs, sidewalks, and crosswalks. I can show a little more detail on that later. But this will provide a new 10-foot wide ADA compliant ramps and overpass linking the city streets to the waterfront. And the waterfront esplanade will be reconstructed after our project when we're complete by New York City EDC. So here are just a couple more renderings of how the overpass will look. You can see the southbound direction on the top of the screen, the northbound on the below. You may notice if you drive through here, there is currently a column in between the two directions on the Harlem River Drive. So we'll have one continuous span across the highway, so it's a little more open and improves the visibility. So there, I just wanted to focus on the intersection that I mentioned at 120th and Palladino. You could see the ramp coming down in blue. There are some new curbs and sidewalks with new pedestrian ramps, crosswalks, everything meeting and coordinated and meeting New York City DOT standards. You can see on the right side where the ramp up Palladino, I'm sorry, as you walk north, we are actually increasing the sidewalk in this section, and it will be safer because we're also adding a barrier between the Harlem River Drive and that Palladino Avenue sidewalk. If you're familiar with the area now, you know it's just a curb and some deteriorated sidewalk, so that'll be safer. On the left side, also we'll be increasing the sidewalk width at the bottom of the ramp in front of the school. And as I mentioned, we'll have new crossings for bikes and pedestrians at this intersection. But along with the project, as most, we will need to relocate some utilities in this area just for construction of the foundations of the bridge itself. And just so you're aware, this won't really impact the community too much, but under this project, we are doing some repairs on the RFK bridge itself. As you can see on the right, the area in the red is the FDR ramp to and from the RFK Harlem River lift span. So we do have various structural steel and concrete repairs that we will be doing underside of the deck, piers, barriers, things like that. So we just wanted to point that out for your information in case you see work going on. And then the picture on the left is what we call the slip ramp. Many years ago when we were building the new ramps down to 125th Street from the Harlem River lift span, we had a temporary ramp that we used to get onto the RFK. This is at 125th and First Avenue. So this is closed to the public. It's going to remain closed to the public, but we are going to be working there. You may have seen us if you've been out there now. We have started doing some work there already, but we are doing some structural rehabs and upgrades to the ramp. It will remain closed to the public, but we wanted to let you know what was going on if you noticed people working out there. So we wanted to update you. So some of the traffic maintenance that'll be implemented for this project, the overpass itself, the pedestrian overpass, is anticipated to be closed for 8 months. FDR lane closures, we have had some at night already, just doing some preliminary work for the project. We are coordinating that with City DOT, and all closures will be coordinated with them throughout. We actually update City DOT on a weekly basis with what closures are needed. But one of the important things is we will be maintaining full traffic lane capacity through the work zone during the days. So during the daytime, we will maintain, whether the section has 2 or 3 lanes, we'll be maintaining that during the day. As I mentioned, the nighttime is when we're allowed to close lanes with DOT's permission. We have permits for that. It's usually after around 11 o'clock. For the replacement of the structure itself, there will be 2 nighttime weekend closures. One will be for the demolition of the existing bridge. That'll be overnight, 1 to 2 nights, probably 2. And then when we're ready to place the new bridge, that'll be another weekend further down the road for the placement of the new span across the highway. We do need nighttime weekend closures of the FDR for that. As you'll see here, we do have permits with DOT for these closures. We need to coordinate the dates, but northbound detour would be at 96th Street, up First Avenue to get back on at 127th Street. In the southbound direction, Park Avenue You take 2nd Avenue down and hop back on at 116th Street. Like I said, those will be just 2 nighttime weekend closures. And then just during construction, as we would on all our projects, we do follow New York City noise codes. So we will have monitoring set up, monitoring the noise, and keeping an eye on that during construction. So here's the schedule of the project. We did award it back in June. There's still some design being finalized at this point. You may have noticed in the area, there may be a contractor out there doing test pits just to locate the utilities before we start the heavy construction of demoing the bridge, the curb line changes and things like that. The overall construction, the project will last 14 months from June. And as I mentioned, the closure will be 8 months of the physical closure of the overpass. So construction is starting this month. And that will start next week on Monday. We'll be taking the area to start demo of the existing bridge. And that'll start the anticipated 8-month period. And then we have the forecast completion, the 3rd quarter of 2026, and that's when we would be opening the new bridge back up to the public. So that's all we had presented. This is just, I'm going to end with the rendering just so you can get an idea of the new bridge. So if you have any questions, feel free. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate your presentation. And we have a question from our CB11 member, Leslie.
Good evening, Mr. Ryan. Just a few questions about how the demolition of the bridge will go. You said it's gonna start Monday, the 15th. Now that it's gotten colder and it's darker earlier at night, any concerns about snowstorms? Like if something like happens, as the demolition, would it push it back more?
So they'll start with closing off the area. There's prep work for the demo. They take the ramps down on either side first. So that's work that they would do in the daytime. Obviously, weather could impact how quickly that progresses. But the actual the main span over the roadway, that would be just one weekend at night, and obviously they would plan that according to the weather. But weather could dictate the schedule a little bit and how quickly it progresses. But they would take the area and start some prep for the demo next week.
Okay, now that it's gotten, I mean, we've had rain, snow, any remediation or any kind of reconstruction in case of flooding, like Superstorm Sandy? Because I know the FDR got very heavily flooded during that time. So is there anything done for drainage along that corridor?
We're improving the drainage, but besides adding the 4th lane, we aren't doing much more to the Harlem River Drive just in this section. We're increasing the width, improving the drainage with some additional structures.
Right, and just to clarify again, thank you, Ryan. Great job on that presentation. And again, we have our DOT and EDC colleagues along with us to field any questions. But as I said, it's actually an all off our MTA TBTA property, and it's we're not actually doing anything to the FDR drive because it's not our facility. So this is kind of part of the project that we needed to do to add this 4th lane off the ramp from the bridge, working in coordination with DOT, and it necessitated the kind of moving the structure, if you will, of the overpass at East 120th Street, and in so doing, now it's going to be improved and it's going to have ADA access, and it's all in conjunction with the Esplanade work that the city is doing as well. So it's real close coordination, and I know it's been a long time that the engineers have been working with our city colleagues behind the scenes to get this going. So we're all here. So if you have any questions about any of that, we're happy to answer whatever we can, or our colleagues can.
Okay, so this crossway, I've noticed that we've had a lot of issues with tractor trailers just lingering back onto the FDR and then they get stuck on 96th Street. Will that walkway be higher so that the trucks can get under it? Even though they're not supposed to be on the
They're not supposed to be
FDR.
on the FDR to begin with.
Right, but
they
you don't want
are.
them to build that and then have the trucks knock it down because they didn't fit under it. It's already getting stuck on 96th Street. So I'm just asking you, Mr. Ryan.
I don't
Is it
know.
gonna be high?
I don't know exactly how high the existing bridge is, but we are raising it to the highest elevation we can based on it also has to ramp down on the land side and we need space to run out to make it ADA compliant and things like that. But it is being raised as high as it can.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, so, yeah, thank you for the.
Wait, the person that's speaking now is Jill Jones?
So in terms of this huge project, I'm just concerned that, in terms of signage, in terms of folks on the ground, in case folks have questions, things like that. So how are you, doing that in terms of signage and folks on the ground, if there are questions or concerns, things like that?
Well, we're going to be, thank you for that question. And we're going to be actually arranging it today we spent trying to finalize signage. So anyone who would normally go over, I don't think it really leads to anywhere with the work that's going on, but anyone who would take the overpass, and use it, pedestrians, it's going to be further south now, and we'll have signage saying the walkway is closed for this project for this amount of time. And we'll have some kind of email address on there. But alternatively, anyone who contacts the community board, you can reach out to Rose Pascone and to myself, Joyce Mulvaney, and we'll be happy to answer any questions on behalf of TBTA and our MTA construction and development colleagues. So again, we're going to be putting signage out tomorrow, if not tomorrow, definitely over the weekend, to indicate what we're doing and, if anyone has any questions, how to get in touch.
Do you have a follow-up question?
Who's the first one around?
I wanted to also, Rose, correct? Joyce?
Yes, I'm Joyce, and Rose is here too.
Hi. Okay, Joyce, being that it's gonna be demolition is gonna be beginning so soon, the residents are not gonna really be aware of what's happening so early on whatever morning that you're gonna start.
Right.
I think signage is extremely important, and you said that you're gonna be going with the guidelines of of noise complaints. Is that 8 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock in the evening?
Well, I will say first that our contractors, and I'll let Ryan clarify this, or Armindo, that they actually did visit the NYCHA houses and also PS 112, MS 206, right, I believe, and installed vibration monitors also, and talked to the building management, and we've been in touch through Angel. Matched up with, thank you again, matching us up with the principal, assistant principal of the school. So basically, anything that we do on this project is meant to follow the New York City Noise Code. And I think, Ryan, you have the specifics in terms of time of what those hours are.
So I don't have the times in front of me, but there are different levels allowed, whether it's daytime, nighttime, or weekend, day or night. So there are slightly different levels that are monitored. Obviously, it could be a little louder during the day, not as loud as night. I don't have the exact hours in front of me.
That's okay, Ryan. What I wanted to make sure is that those hours were on the sign, so that a whole bunch of 301 calls are saying, well, why is there construction? Why is there demolition happening at this hour? So if those hours are actually on the sign, that would stop most of the calls. My other question is, I'm glad that there is going to be monitoring of the vibrations, but also what about the air quality? Are there gonna be any sort of monitoring with that as well? Because that's also important, especially around school.
That's a very nice thing.
Yeah. So I can address that. We, with all our projects, we closely monitor um,
May I ask
the. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
No, can you say your name, please?
I'm Armindo Montero with MTA.
Oh, okay.
The RFK Bridge. So as with all our projects, we closely monitor all our activities, particularly those that would potentially cause dust. And we have plans that are developed and reviewed and approved ahead of the work. So typically with demolition work, uh, there there is going to be water that's used to keep any kind of dust from escaping. And at this time of year, obviously, water and turning into ice, we have to monitor that as well and make sure things are remain safe in the area.
So that means that there are no monitors for air quality control. Is that what you're saying?
Well, not necessarily air monitors, but there are procedures taken depending on the actual activity.
Can you get back to us about that? I don't appreciate his answer. Can you get back to us about some actual factual information?
Because, I do understand the whole thing about putting water on something to have the reduction of dust, but that's not what I was asking.
I'm formally asking for.
Okay, Jewel Jones is now formally asking you a question.
With all due respect to
Armando.
you, sir, can you provide some kind of explicit, comprehensive information as it relates to air quality monitoring during the full phase of this project? Yes or no?
We're going to get back to you on this. This is, I think you're talking about containment, right? In terms of demolition work. So in terms of the overpass demolition, we'll get back to you on specifics. Our engineers, as Armindo said, there's protocols that they follow, and whenever there is demolition to keep debris and dust down, and it probably depends on the type of demolition. So we'll get back to you with specifics on that, and our engineers will provide that information to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions? I think Christina Johnson had another question.
Yes, I did. I'm looking down the line of this project. You said this is going to be a 4-lane highway now, spanned from 120th to 116.
It's from the merge of the off ramp from the RFK bridge where it merges with the southbound FDR. It's a little north of 120th Street, but yes, down to 116th, which is currently an exit only lane, and that'll remain an exit only lane.
Okay, so then once you pass this 4-lane, now you have to merge back into 3 lanes, right? So are you anticipating the gridlock that might occur there? Because we already have gridlock coming from Uptown Harlem River Drive through to this merging lane from the bridge. There's always gridlock there. So now you're putting 4 lanes and then you're going to merge it back into 3 lanes, which is going to create another gridlock.
But it's a safety improvement for that merge, which is right now it's the 2 center lanes are merging, which is a non-standard and awkward for the drivers. So we'll maintain those 4 lanes, 2 from each, and the existing exit-only lane will remain an exit-only lane, and the 3 lanes continue south of 116th Street.
Right, okay, so again, you're taking that lane, you're widening that area up, but then you're squeezing it back, so you're moving the gridlock from the bridge to 116. Because now people are gonna have to merge back into a 3-lane highway. So have you guys taken into consideration that the gridlock has now moved from one area to another? And how do you plan on addressing that?
So I think I'm just going to jump in here. I'm not a traffic engineer, and perhaps Bill Neubauer and Armindo can expound on this, but the whole idea, I'm not sure who was speaking. I see Dawn's name, so I was going to say Dawn, that is that we've had this very non-standard merge. So it's not a matter of just extending, adding a lane and moving the merge downstream. It's a corrective matter of taking what is a ramp that spills right into the center of the southbound FDR, which just jams everything up, and realigning it. First of all, regardless of the additional auxiliary lane that we're taking from shoulder and not expanding, the FDR, but it's a traffic engineering control that is more standard, and it's a safety design as well. And I would defer to my engineers to speak to the planning that went into that specific design. It's not simply taking the merge and moving it downstream.
Joyce, this is Bill. Yeah, you're correct. We have had professional traffic engineers studying this very closely. And this is going to improve traffic flow through this area. We're not making it worse. We're not creating an alternate problem. It's going to improve traffic flow through the area. That's the results of our study.
Okay, thank you. Dawn, can you unmute yourself and you have the floor?
Sure. Just going back to what Jewel was saying, during the 2nd Avenue subway construction, we did understand that water was being placed on areas that dust was picking up, but we were able to actually get, I don't know if the EPA did this, but we were able to get an air quality device put, I believe, on 2nd Avenue, and I think maybe it was 99th. I can't quite remember, but the point is that I know that that's an option, and I'm so happy that you're going to be putting water on the dust, but just keep us in mind for whether or not you can have an air quality, air, some way to measure the air and let us know, because we've done that before in the past. And it does go a long way to make people feel better about what's being, what's spreading throughout the air, the particulate matter and so on. Just putting that out there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. And Leslie Colon, go ahead.
Again, so this merging traffic southbound on the FDR coming off the RFK Bridge, I've taken it numerous times, and I've tried to merge at the foot of the bridge to get off on 116th Street exit. Will this new directive, this new layout, will that restrict people from getting off on that exit, that you have to go to the 106th Street exit? That was a question, it wasn't a statement.
Ryan, you can answer that?
Anyone else talk about?
You should.
Are you asking, is it going to restrict people from getting off at 116th?
No, I think, Ryan, I think we're being asked, are we reconfiguring the exits? Is anything going to change with this design? And the answer is no.
No.
Not at all.
So people are going to get off the bridge, on that off ramp, and then zoom across to get off on 116.
The 116th exit is not changing.
Okay. Okay.
So in the interim, between the time that the 8 to 14 months that this is going to be put together, where would people exit?
The exit remains open at 116th. The only detour we have is those 2 weekends I mentioned when we actually take down the existing and later on put up the new one. The exits will be in place the whole time of the project.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any more questions? Jewel Jones?
So did you provide this presentation to the board office?
We will.
Okay, yeah, well, okay, great. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And do we have any more questions? Dawn? I do not see any other hands.
I'm good.
Okay. You're good?
Thank
Do you see any
you.
other hands on the?
You know, I wanted to say that we'll be happy to come back again too as as the project moves on, and when, you know, we are in very close touch with Community Board 11, providing updates. You'll see updates from Rose and from myself, and if you want us to come back and present an update, you know, in the first quarter, or, you know, whenever anything significant is going to change, we'd be happy to do that.
Yes, thank you. Joyce, I would really appreciate it. And you gave all of your information to Khalid, correct?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Did you give all of the information of your email addresses, phone numbers, and names to either Khalid or Angel?
Oh yes, Angel has all our details for many years. He knows where to find us.
Thank you, because you're very tiny little squares right now, so I can barely see your names. So I know I will spell them rather wrong. So thank you for your presentation. We will see you again mid-quarter.
Yeah, we're right over the bridge on Randall's Island, most of us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care and happy holidays.
Thank you. Same to
Thank
you.
you. You
Thank you
too.
so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye. Take care. Okay, so now we are MTA Bridges and Tunnels. Is there something else besides the informational thing? Is it a separate one?
It is part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Part of it.
Okay, so the old business is the Safety Awareness 3 for East Conference.
Good job. Yeah, we're really good. All right, good time. Team was great. The cats were great. Cat collective.
Okay, we changed it up a bit based on what Christina said. Well, let's just change it up. Let's have something a little different. Well, so based on that, we added a bike ride prior to it, where some people had been on bikes for a very, very long time. And they were excited to just get on a bike and to go around Randall's Island and to the different safe areas around, safe areas, that's in the 2-3, the 2-5 precinct. Some people just don't even know where these things are. They don't know where the fire stations are, where the paramedics are, they don't know. And so to have people go slowly on a bike was a good thing.
Good.
We started off that way, had a panel of different people, and then ended up with a tea after lunch. So it was a very sort of circular day. It is not complete, the video, as yet. A friend of mine is making it brighter. It was a little dark. As Jose was like, yeah, I mentioned all those lights. Yeah, couldn't see the faces very well. So a lot of brightness has to be done. And as well as just interweaving some of the photos. So if you have any photos that you took of any part that you wish to share, please send them to me. Yes, Julia.
A little bit more about the panelists. I love the variety and and you had several panelists up there. I love the questions that you had, and the responses. I really enjoyed that. That was very good. And I like the fact that you said, okay, you had some direct questions for them, and then you said, when that panelist part ended, we all just kind of mix and mingle, which we did. So there was also tabling in and around that area, which was great. So I just want to make sure I added that. And I think you should give that the firefighter just kudos, because he stayed for the whole thing and to the T as well, and to the very end. And that was great. It really was. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Did you have something to say, Jojo? I mean, Jojo. Let me think about, I'm sorry.
No, I really had a good time. First time I've ever attended an event like that, and it was really informative.
The New York City aging group that did not come, they want to do a presentation later on, specifically for transportation of the elderly and what they have with different passes and different ways to get around free in New York City. And so we're gonna have them on in January, hopefully. Just to keep things moving, we did have the New York City Mayor's Immigration Agency, which is MOIA. I still want to keep partnering because there's so many different things that are changing, and that is part of our public safety, keeping everybody here. As well as I tried to get someone for different fire safety things that are happening right now because of Christmas trees, and that did not happen, unfortunately, but I will definitely contact that person so that we have more information on a regular basis of ways to keep our constituents safe. So, yes? Thank you. And thank you to everyone that helped and participated. And unfortunately, fortunately for him, Pascal Hanu is going to be leaving our committee, our area.
He's moving?
Harlem. Yes. So.
Well, congratulations to him, because it's probably a good thing, so.
Yes.
But bad for us, because he's gone, so.
Yes. So that is, I was expecting them to be here so we could say it all together. But he had to work late. Go figure. So what I would like to do is even though he's not here, to invite everyone to go to the restaurant to continue what we do, not necessarily talk about business, but to get to know each other and our neighborhood even further. Okay? And that would be at the restaurant across the street. Happy holidays, everyone. Do we have any new business? Khalid?
Where is this restaurant across the street?
Right across the street.
It's literally
Right across the street. Right across the street.
It's the 32nd
Under the
block.
train. It's on the other side of the street from where we are. The little pizza shop. Oh, that's what they call it? I didn't know what their name was.
Their name is Armani.
Oh, okay, yeah. I had some of their garlic loaves. They're really good.
Yes, they are. Any new business?
There's a restaurant that opened on 116, LP's. Yeah, LP's between first and second. He used to be the executive chef at Ricardo's. Now he opened up his own spot. And he has really good lamb chops.
What's the name of him?
LP's.
DLPE?
Okay, Leslie.
DLPIS.
Yes, I think we're all hungry right now.
Being that you're talking about restaurant, there's only one Black-owned restaurant on 116th Street.
Which one?
And it's called Fine Food Cuisine.
Oh, yes. Yes, I've eaten there.
Okay, that's the next place to go.
And they've been all over
social media. I've just been going up 117th Street up and down.
They
and
always.
like crisscrossing. Anyway, we are digressing because we're hungry. Khalid, can you do the
You got it. Leslie Colon.
present?
Carlos Diaz. Present. Pascal Hano is absent. Wanda Hawkins.
Present.
Wanda. Kyoka Jackson.
Present.
Christina Johnson.
Present.
Jewel Jones.
Here.
Stages excused. Carol Person is absent. Valerie is online, but she hasn't accepted the panelist thing. So, Doc Sanders.
Present.
Yeah, but she didn't accept the panelist invite, so she can't respond. So Derek Sample. Michelle Wilshire Clement.
Present.
That's it, Chair.
Okay, so we are adjourned at 8:05. Thank you, everyone, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays.